So,
Yeah.
what are you gonna call this podcast? Then there was two squared.
Maybe I'll call it the Trader Returns. Welcome everybody back to Not Rich Just Bored, episode number 8. Lucky number 8. Ryan taking a sick day, mental health day, but really he just didn't want to argue with me because
Yeah.
he knew I'd fight him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. Today we want to talk about obviously the elephant in the room, which is Microsoft buying Blizzard and Activision.
Yeah.
I have a smaller little story about Ethan Klein that we'll get to, but I think we should dive right into the acquisition. What do you think about it?
Oh, it's definitely a big shift in the gaming world. Like, it's a huge shift, honestly. People are a little worried because Microsoft is, the whole monopoly thing, right?
Right.
Which I understand. Like that is kind of scary. You don't want one company to own everything, because if you don't have competition, then in the long term effects, they're going to be negative.
Sorry, excuse me. Holy cow. Yeah. No, you're totally right. Because if one company owns everything, it'll just get scary. Because then there'll be no competition.
No competition, then the quality of the service will just keep decreasing and decreasing, because it's all about money in the end,
Yeah.
And if they can save money by having no competition and decreasing the quality of their products, they will, because they're running a business.
Yeah, and I'm reading it right now. It was $68.7 billion.
Yeah. I feel like they missed an opportunity there. They should have at least paid an extra 0.3 or 0.3 billion.
Yeah, right? Make it 69. Everybody would have been like, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then everybody would have been like, Phil Spencer or whatever is like, I'm going to take 300 million off the table because I feel like he's like I feel like they'll think it's an April Fool's joke or something.
Yeah.
He's like, so I'm just going to keep that for myself.
Pretty much.
But I'm guessing that's market value. Like, I'm guessing that's how much those companies were.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably paid above market a little bit.
So also, I did it like, I'm not educated on this whole buyout or anything like that. I'm not going to pretend I am, but there was speculation because of the whole issue with Activision Blizzard and stuff like that, with the sexual allegations and stuff. They were taking a big hit on their stock price and everything like that, and I think the whole idea was just to sell out before there was too much damages done.
You know what? I think you're 100% right, because Bobby Kotick, I think it's pronounced. Yeah, he's had so much, like, the sexual allegations and all the crazy shit that's going on. And I said that when I found out they sold, I said that's exactly why they sold, because they had to get rid of him.
Yeah,
like they didn't really have a choice at that point. So why not sell to? Why not sell to Microsoft or somebody big? I was about to say Bethesda. I'm like,
yeah,
that's just another company that I'm gonna pop up.
Pretty much,
But the one thing I will say though is that as much as people say monopoly and all this stuff, Microsoft, and I think I told you this before, but I don't really know how to. I don't really know how to fully word it, but it's like these companies that they're buying, they're recognizable brands and they're really, really high selling brands, but they're kind of in their twilight years. They're not in their prime. Like,
no, especially like Activision Blizzard. Like,
oh yeah, like you said, when's the last time they had a hit? Like,
exactly.
Like, don't get me wrong, they still have a lot of subs on WoW. But WoW's gone way downhill. Activision's releasing the same fucking game every year.
Yeah.
And what's the other? I think the only thing really going for Blizzard right now is Diablo.
Diablo, yeah. And
But
then, I mean, Diablo 4 has been delayed. Overwatch has been delayed significantly. Like, their future is a little bleak right now. Or it was, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and Diablo yeah, everything kept getting pushed back. Diablo 4, Diablo Immortal,
Yeah.
all this other stuff. It keeps getting delayed and pushed back
Yeah.
all the time. And but even then, I think Diablo is still a niche game. I don't think it's a mainstream game.
No, Diablo is kind of a niche game. I'll agree with that. Like, it takes a certain type of person to play Diablo, like a certain type of player. You do. It's
Yeah.
not like everybody plays Diablo. You know what I mean? It's a very small percentage, but
Oh,
the people
yeah.
that do play it are very passionate about it. Typically,
Yeah, they're hardcore.
yeah,
It's almost like a cult. It is a cult classic game, like Diablo 2, because
totally, yeah.
it has that cult following.
Mhm.
Not a lot. I don't even like saying not a lot of people, because a lot of people did play it, but the people that did play it are super
There's,
passionate about it.
there's been people that have been playing Diablo 2 for 20 years, like
Yeah,
streamers that have literally played that game every single day for the last 10, 20 years. Like, it's
and
crazy.
they still didn't get a high rune drop.
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh yeah, can we just do a sub note here about all the fake fucks that are posting pictures?
Oh God, it's so
That's
cringe.
it's so cringy when people are there's people we have like Diablo groups on Facebook where all the fans kind of congregate, and there's always people posting pictures and it's like, wow, the cows were nice today, and it's like they did hell cows, and it's like it's like 3 high runes. It's
Yeah,
like bullshit. You're so full of shit.
yeah. I
There's
guess somebody made a joke about that about the whole forum gold thing, right? It's like people can
yeah,
purchase forum gold. It's like another currency for purchase, but you're purchasing items. You're not acquiring them in game. You're buying them off other players that found those items. So this one person made a joke. He made a meme where it's like, when you just bought a high room with foreign gold and drop it on the ground and pretend you just found it. And I guess this guy said he would posted that meme in like some of those channels on Facebook, and he was getting banned because people were getting salty about that. And the only reason why people would be getting salty is because they're the fucking ones that are doing that. Because otherwise, it's fucking funny as shit. Because that's what people do. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's all
It's
they do.
it's so pathetic.
Well, like we both played. I mean, obviously, I didn't play it every year,
Yeah.
but I've been playing it since it was launched, and I have never had a high rune drop.
Yeah. I thought you found an Ohm rune.
Is
Or
that a high rune? Was it Ohm?
Ohm is a high rune. Yeah.
I might have had one actually,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, but none of like the super useful ones like
No.
Jaw or Ith or Burr.
Yeah, Ohm is actually pretty useful. But yeah, no,
I guess just not to my class.
maybe I'm thinking of myself. I found a low rune and an Ohm rune. And those are
Okay,
the only 2 high runes I've ever found in Diablo. I got really lucky.
yeah, and I think you're right because I don't
Mhm.
think I've had an Ohm. I'd have to look at my runes again,
Yeah.
but yeah, as far as I know, I've never even seen one in the game besides
Mhm.
trading. Like back in the day, I would you trade, and
Yeah.
if you had something like Herald of Zakarum or something, people
Mhm.
might
Yep.
trade if they have a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Back to the the Microsoft Activision
Yes,
buyout.
back to this.
One thing that I'm really excited for, and you know me, I'm I'm literally a fanboy when it comes to this service, but Game Pass. I'm really excited about Game Pass with this new
Yep.
purchase. Is Call of Duty, like think about like if Call of Duty comes to Game Pass, that's
Oh
a
yeah.
$80 purchase every year. That adds up over a long period of time. And not to mention like the potential with WoW, like who knows, they might integrate that service into Game Pass some way, like with where you're or where you pay a monthly fee. Like maybe that might even be part of your monthly Game Pass, and you can just play WoW and ESO and all that. Who knows where that's gonna go? Like I am just, it's gonna
Yeah.
be like I love Game Pass, and I support it indefinitely because I think it's a great service.
Yeah, once I get Fable 2 and 3 on PC, then I'll sign up. Just
Yeah, yeah.
No, honestly, that's why I was asking you the other day about their plans and what you recommend for a
Mhm.
PC only player.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually considering getting it now because this acquisition is it's gonna be huge. Like,
Yeah.
because they're gonna, like you said, maybe they'll give away a free WoW subscription or something
Who knows?
with Game Pass. Like ESO's already free to play now. Like you have to
Oh,
buy the
they
game.
changed it. Okay, well, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Okay.
But you can subscribe though, and I think you get more inventory and all that.
Yeah.
The regular horse shit that they add.
Yeah.
You know, those pay to win games like Tarkov.
Yeah. The here comes the shots, hey.
Yeah. You don't show up,
But one thing
I
I
bash your game.
like, to me, Microsoft is pushing the boundaries in the gaming sector right now. They're innovating, they're pushing the boundaries, and Microsoft is one of those honest companies, in my opinion. You never see Microsoft doing shady shit that I know of. You know, they're always providing a good product to the consumer that doesn't have any shady background shit going on. It's just a top quality product. And that's why I like really respect Microsoft.
Yeah. Besides Bill Gates and his, the whole vaccine conspiracy.
Okay, but that's completely unrelatable, to the
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
I know. I was just joking, and
Yeah.
that's not even proven. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's no third party spyware or anything.
No.
The Xbox One was a little ad heavy. I found
Yeah.
on their home screen and shit.
Yeah.
But did they fix that on the new one?
Oh, yeah. Their UI for the Xbox Series X is really clean. Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
good.
I
Yeah.
hated on it was the late 360 and then the
Mhm.
Xbox One where they would literally have those ads that would just
Yeah.
play on your dashboard and they'd
Yeah.
autoplay. And I
Oh
don't know
my
if you
goodness.
remember the Xbox 360 though, but remember the original 360? It was just literally like tabs,
Yeah.
and then your background was on each tab and stuff. Very simple. And then remember they had the big update to the new UI that was going to be on the Xbox One,
Yeah.
but you could download it on the 360. Holy fuck, did that make the 360 run like a piece of dog shit?
Yeah.
You take any of those 360s out, dust them off right now, you
Mhm.
boot them up. Holy shit, they take like 7 minutes to
Oh, I
post.
bet. I bet. But I think Phil Spencer has done so much for the Xbox brand. Like he
Oh
has
yeah,
literally fucking turned that company around as far as I'm concerned. And his vision for gaming to me
yeah,
is helping is literally for the gamers. You know what I mean? Like that's his vision. It's for the gamers. It's not
yep,
like obviously money is a thing, but if you make your consumer happy, the money will come. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. And that's the one thing I was saying yesterday that I like about Microsoft, in particular, is that they literally said we don't care where you play our games, just play
Yeah.
our games.
Yep.
There's no fucking exclusivity like there is now, but it's not to be an asshole. It's like they want you to play their games. But we were talking about the fanboy shit from before and how
Yes.
like Sony's fans were
Oh,
very toxic.
Sony, and they still are toxic. They've been silent now, man, because on Twitter, like Sony fanboys are the worst. Like the shit that they come up with will fucking blow your mind away some days. You know what I mean? And their whole
Oh yeah.
narrative was exclusive, exclusive. We are your system. The Xbox sucks ass because we have all the best games. We have all the exclusives. Fuck Xbox. Well, now that the tables have turned, they have
Yeah.
nothing to say. It's fucking,
I know. And that's what I was talking about. They used to have the best exclusives. and it kind of turns around every year.
Yeah.
You know, the 360 was banging,
Oh,
and
it was.
it had the best fucking library ever, best
Yeah.
exclusives. That's when fucking Halo, Gears of War, they're all
Yeah.
hot,
Yeah.
and I don't even remember the other exclusives.
Everybody had an Xbox 360, man. Every
Oh yeah,
fucking friend
everybody.
I had an Xbox 360. That
Yeah,
game was, or that system was the fucking place to be.
yeah. But then the Xbox One came out, and like a lot of their exclusives kind of fell by the wayside. Like Halo was kind of on a
Remember the fucking
hiatus.
announcement for that system? I couldn't fucking believe it. When they announced that system, right at that point, I'm like, I'm buying a fucking PS4 because this
Yeah,
is not the Xbox I remember.
no.
They announced that system as a fucking basically a multimedia fucking device that had
Yeah.
gaming capabilities. Fuck, man, I couldn't believe it. Oh, and the worst part is they forced you to buy the Kinect was part of it. It was that system was an extra $100 because the Kinect came with it, and there was no optional purchase plan to not have the Kinect. And I fucking knew that Kinect system was gonna die immediately. Like no one was supporting it because nobody was supporting it for the Xbox 360 either. So it's like, okay,
Oh
they're
yeah.
forcing you to buy $100 product that nobody wants and nobody's going to support, and that's exactly what happened.
I know the Collect was not good.
No, it
It was,
wasn't.
it was never good.
It was a niche. It was just like one of those niche products that they fucking spent so much money, talking about and making it seem like it was way better than it was.
Yeah, well, I remember being excited to play like that Star Wars game because there's that
Yeah,
Star Wars game where you got to like be a fucking Jedi with
yeah,
hold the lightsaber and your hand movements would they
yeah.
would go into the game, but it did not work like barely at all. And once you were in the game, it was really stupid. It wasn't right.
What do they call those games where you're based? Oh, that was like one of those, not a real railroad game, but you're on rails. It was an on
Yeah,
rails game where it
yeah,
literally, you know what I mean? Like you're stuck going exactly where the game tells you to go, and you just do some actions in the area that you're in. You know?
yeah. It was an on the rails game, you could say.
Yeah, yeah. But the way that they advertised the Connect was almost like you're stepping into a virtual world in a sense, and your body's going to be in the game to the exact way you move and your finger movements. Like they were even talking about like reloading guns, where you like grab the clip and put it in the gun and cock the gun back. It was never like that.
Not even close.
No,
Literally, it was a shit show.
it was
And yeah, it was not good.
no.
But like that, what I was saying was that they were they were banging, and then it changed. The tables turned.
Yep.
PlayStation was the fucking way to be, and yeah,
Yep.
the PS4 rocked the world and it had great exclusives like Uncharted and
Yeah,
Killzone was pretty fun too,
yeah. It was
and
solid.
and I think Horizon Zero Dawn was exclusive at least for a time, and
And
then
for
God
a
of
while
War.
there, Call of Duty, they were getting exclusive features in the Call of Duty games as well.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's right. Yeah, I
yeah,
think
they paid for exclusive like features and stuff within those games.
yeah, and then but they were really good, right? And
Yep.
then but then there started this weird trend of like PlayStation fanboys. That's what we call them
Yeah.
anyway. And it just got really fucking toxic with it. And
Oh, they got cocky and toxic.
I love the PS4, but I
Yeah.
did not partake in that culture on Twitter and shit because it's just like, yeah, where's the exclusives Xbox? They're just like bullying anybody who had an Xbox.
Literally. Yeah.
And then
There would be like a fucking mom who bought her kid like a new Xbox for their fucking 10-year-old kid. And all those Sony fanboys would flood in and basically be like, wow, that, like bullying this fucking 10-year-old kid and saying he has a shitty system. They just like flock
yeah,
toward like, it's just
your
like,
mom must hate you.
it's just like, holy fuck, they're literally bullying children because they didn't get their preferred system. Like, it was bad. It was so fucking bad.
It was pathetic, is what it was. Let's
It
be
is. It
honest.
really is.
And then something totally unremarkable really happened, and that was the day that Microsoft announced that they bought Bethesda.
Yes.
And shit hit the fucking fan.
Absolutely, it
Because
did.
uh and most Microsoft people are saying, yeah, it's probably not going to go exclusive, like just because the
Yeah,
market's too big. And
yeah,
then every fucking Sony guy on Twitter's going, it better fucking not make it exclusive. Uh,
exactly. Yeah,
they're gonna Bethesda's done to me. They're gonna lose all their sales if they do
yeah.
that.
So what
It's like
happened? It's like what happened to the exclusive narrative that you were fucking shitting on Xbox about? Like, where did that go all of a sudden? They're fucking hypocrites, man.
exactly that, and that
Like, fanboys are fucking hypocrites.
yeah, and like and it goes on both sides of the table, right?
Mhm.
Like any kind of fanboys can be toxic, but I it's for me lately, it's always been the Sony guys.
Yeah, they're
I don't ever see any fucking Xbox fanboys.
no.
I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure you can find them, but
There is, yeah.
you don't find them every day on Twitter and
What
stuff.
the trend that I see with Xbox fanboys is Xbox fanboys like to brag about their system. Okay? They like to
Yeah,
brag about the features of their system and shit like that. Whereas Sony fanboys, they don't for like per se brag about their system. They just try to shit on all the other systems. Like that's how their fanboyism works to an extent, you know?
right.
And that was that whole exclusive narrative, but that's totally gone out the window now. Like as fucking Microsoft is literally wiping the floor with them with exclusives right now. If you think
Yeah.
about it, in every single category of game, Microsoft has the best franchise. Look at role-playing games: Bethesda,
Yep.
Fallout, Skyrim. Look at RTS games: Age of Empires. Look at racing games: Forza. It
Yep.
doesn't matter what category of game you go into, Microsoft now owns the best franchise.
That's true. Actually, they do have kind of the best
MMOs,
of all of
World of
them.
Warcraft.
Yeah,
So,
but
like, it's crazy.
they don't own New World though.
New World. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I yeah, they really
Okay.
do. Like if Microsoft bought Rockstar Games right now, the world would end.
Yeah. You
Like
know, it's, yeah. Oh, I
that
know. It would. Honestly, like, if you think about it, though, even right now, what does PlayStation have going for them right now? Like, honestly.
they, I they really don't have much. They have God of War. And I don't know if the second one's coming to PC or not.
Hmm. But
I
think
don't
about it,
know.
like, think about if Microsoft, like, this won't happen because it'll never happen. But think about if Microsoft wanted to turn into like a monopoly dick. Imagine if they made like Call of Duty exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem.
Oh Jesus
That
Christ.
alone would fucking destroy Sony. I'm pretty sure it would.
Yeah, it would be huge. It
Yeah,
would be. Because I'm actually trying to think. I might just Google it right now. What are the PlayStation exclusives right now?
um,
Like,
I I think they have that kind of Souls-like game. I forget what it's called.
oh, Ghost of Tsushima,
No, it was a Souls type game. I don't remember what it was called though. They did a remaster for the PS5 though.
Demon Souls.
Yeah, Demon Souls.
Yeah,
And
that's
then they
yeah.
have Returnal, which was a new franchise. I guess that game was all right. It was a roguelike game. Um, but for me though, like they don't have any exclusive games that I'm going out and buying a PS5.
Right. Oh, The Last of Us,
The
which
Last of Us, yeah, which is
yeah,
as far as I know, is a you know me though, I'm not a third person type of
yeah.
player. So those none of PlayStation's exclusives have ever captured me in any way. Just because I'm not a big third person type gamer.
Right. But like, I will say, okay, so The Last of Us,
Yeah.
The Last of Us, the first one, is hands down one of the best fucking games in the world.
Wow, I believe
This
it.
the story was really good.
Yeah.
For post-apocalyptic, it doesn't get much better. The problem with the second one was it was a steaming pile of fucking woke dog shit.
Yeah. That'll
Because
happen.
they literally like they had to force everything. Like, j- just look up any review on it.
Yeah.
They had to force so much shit on it, and it just made me cringe internally.
Oh God.
I can't stand like because I think I you can correct me if I'm anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had like like some they had some like people that were obviously supposed to be like they had like the transgender in there, but
Yeah.
they had to make it like a trans problem, right?
Yeah.
They couldn't just have a trans character and just be like, yeah, that's a trans character. They had to make that the focal point of the character.
Oh, okay.
It's like I hate when they
So they
do
had to
that.
like, throw it in your face, like you just, in a sense.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that was what it was, or it might have been a like a gay character. I don't remember, but it's just
Hmm.
like, can't we just write characters that are just characters?
Yeah.
And it's like it's up to the audience to determine whether they're transgender
Yeah.
or you know what I mean? It's like
I know what you mean. Yeah.
but whenever they are, it has to be the focal point of their whole character.
Hmm.
Has to be everything about them. It's like Jesus Christ.
I know.
It's the same with like all the Marvel comics right now. They're all like, the new Captain America is gay. The world can't handle it.
Yeah.
It's like, can it?
No, there's always got to be an announcement.
Yeah, well, it's always going to be a narrative, right? And just
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me cringe internally. I like well written characters that like their sexual orientation or whatever is just not that's not their defining feature.
Hmm.
I like, people that are heroic and shit like that. But anyways, going on a
Hmm.
tangent, but I heard, yeah, Last of Us 2 was really,
Yeah.
really, really cringy in a lot of ways. And
So,
unfortunately, it's shit on their legacy.
so
But
do you think that Sony will try to do their like own Game Pass type subscription service? Do you think they'll like actually? They were kind of doing that before, well, like a long time ago. Like I remember back on my PlayStation, they had the service PS Now, it was called, and it
yes,
was a
it did.
subscription based service. But I had it, and it was like $20 a month for like no selection of games. So that right there was a huge turnoff for me because it was just too much money.
Oh,
And there
really?
was, yeah, it was like $20 a month, but it was like a cloud streaming service is what it was, and I used it and it actually worked really good. But it was just too much money to interest me. Because
Huh.
yeah, I streamed some game, like stream played some games, like I like motocross racing games, so MX Reflex was on there. Streamed it, ran perfectly fine. You could feel the little bit of latency and stuff like that, but yeah, so they actually had that. They like, if you want to think about it, they had this the streaming service before even Google had one.
Yeah, but they just didn't pull it
No,
off right.
they didn't pull it off right at all. Like you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they just, I don't know. They didn't do it right.
Yeah, that's the thing is that you really only have one shot.
Yeah.
You just gotta like I don't know. I think with a lot of those guys, they either did it at the wrong time or they got
Hmm.
too greedy with it.
Yeah. I
It's
think doing it at the wrong time was huge. Is for bad, like for instance, one thing, a service like we talked about it, it's going to be the future. Like streaming games will be the future one day because of how
oh yeah.
convenient it is. Like all you need to do is have a controller, and you can take that thing and hook it up to any TV and play all these games if you're streaming them. In a sense, it's a lot easier to do that than lugging a PC around or a console around.
Yeah.
Um, so
And
like the Google, fuck, what do they call it? Google
Stadia,
Stadia. Yeah,
which
yeah. You never hear about it. I think it's pretty much dead in the water. Like honestly,
well, that's something that was again, that's more of a future thing.
it is. It really is.
But the Stadia was too far ahead of its time.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, there's like revolutionary games that's like, oh man, that game was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
But Stadia was too far ahead of its time, and it sort of
Hmm.
failed because people don't have the bandwidth yet.
That's right.
You
And
just
yeah, the internet
unless you're
infrastructure needs to be upgraded considerably for a service like that to go mainstream.
unless you're in fucking Silicon Valley with a gig up and down,
Yeah.
you're not fucking like fiber internet. You're not fucking streaming your games. Not
No.
a chance.
Um,
And also,
but
they didn't have any games.
and that's exactly why I'm going to praise Game Pass again. Like I really do sound like an Xbox fanboy, but they have
Yeah.
Game Pass is set up good because you download the game. You don't stream it, but the best part is they have the streaming as an option as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you can stream, hey?
Yeah. So you can download the game and you're playing it just like you purchased that game off of Steam. Or there might be a particular situation where it might make more sense for you just to cloud stream that particular game. So
Right.
I feel like that was a lot more innovative because they kept with the mainstream standard thing of downloading games, but the streaming thing was an option. You know, it wasn't how the whole system's built. It was an add-on option. So I think
Right.
that was the smart play for Xbox, and that's why I think Game Pass is so successful. Um, so what do you think about this, Cody? So some people I think are threatened by the like Game Pass, like essentially, a subscription-based service. Some people feel threatened by this service, and why do you think that is? Because I don't understand it. I try to look at different perspectives. I try to be neutral on a lot of these things, but I just do not see any negative impact of a streaming service, or sorry, a subscription-based service like Game Pass. Do you have any ideas?
Like why it's bad or why people don't
Yeah,
like
why
it?
why people won't adopt it? Why people feel threatened by it? Like why
I
do people not like it?
I think for a person like me, like I think a lot of people, and this is me included right now,
Yeah,
we're so married to Steam and
yeah,
shit like that that the idea of going somewhere else is it's hard, you know.
yeah.
But it's like, but I also think a lot of people, this isn't necessarily me, this part, but I think a lot of people feel like they don't if they don't own the games, then they don't own the games. Because
Hmm.
one day Xbox might just take something off their store
Which
that
they
you
do
like to
all the
play.
time. It's just like Netflix. They have stuff come in and they have stuff that go. That's how
Yeah,
the system works because it's almost impossible to pay for it would not be financially possible for Microsoft to own a right to this game indefinitely on a rental service forever. You know what I mean?
yeah, unless it's one of their games that they made.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what they've been doing. That's their games are they said from the start will be on Game Pass, like for Microsoft Studio games.
Right.
Yeah.
And I I think that's I think it I think what it comes down to is just a lot of people, they're just stuck in their way.
Everybody's being a fucking boomer about this.
yeah, well it's the same how I was, right? With
Hmm.
it's same as how I was with like the, physical games, which
Yeah. Yeah.
that was my thing at the kind of beginning of COVID, was that I was getting rid of a lot of my games.
Hmm.
Was I'm just kind of, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move on to the next stage of my life and just,
Yeah.
you know, purge all those old relics and just, they're taking up a lot of room in the house,
Yeah.
and it's just,
Absolutely.
and they're not, there's gonna be a time, not very far from now, where all that shit's not gonna be worth anything.
No.
It'll be worth something, like the really old shit, like NES and
Yeah.
shit like that. It'll be worth something, but not as much as it is now.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people just don't give a fuck anymore,
You know. And
right?
like,
And
yeah.
everything's gonna go online. My kids, there's not a fucking chance they're even gonna handle a physical disc. I guarantee
No.
it.
No.
By the time
For sure.
they're my age, especially,
Yeah.
the
Everything will be on. Yeah.
it'll probably be cloud gaming at that point. Honestly,
Hmm.
It'll just be
Mm-hmm.
cloud gaming because that'll be 30 years in the future.
Yeah.
So like guarantee it'll be
Mm-hmm.
it'll be cloud gaming 100%. But even now, it's like most people, like their Nintendo Switch and stuff like that, they just buy digital games
Yeah.
because then you can download them as you need them, and like Steam, they're all in uh
Yeah.
your Nintendo account. So you
Mm-hmm.
buy a new Switch, doesn't matter. I don't need the cartridge. I don't need
Exactly.
nothing. I just sign it to my Nintendo account and download it. I
Yeah.
buy a new PC. I sign it to Steam or Game Pass or whatever I have on my
Mm-hmm.
PC. It really is.
See, and I compare Game Pass to Netflix
Yeah,
because
that's what it is.
it's really the same thing. It's digital entertainment. It's if you really think about it, it's the same shit in the end. It's digital entertainment. And you can't tell me fucking people are like, "Oh, I hate Netflix. I like buying all the movies." I made that joke in our chat just the other day. But like that's nobody's doing that. Netflix is a great service. It's convenient and you have a lot of options. And Game Pass to me is the same shit with a different cover on it. So that's why I have a real tough time understanding this negative stigma against Game Pass. I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? People,
And nobody's stopping you from buying the games. You can have Game Pass and still purchase the games. In fact, actually, if you have a Game Pass account, there's typically a discount on the games if you want to purchase them
right?
for the
Yeah,
games that are on Game Pass. So it's just like, ah, it's making me go crazy. And I just love the service so much. That's why, I always bug you guys like, oh, you bought that game? I'm playing it right now on Game Pass. You know what I mean? I always troll you
yeah.
guys like that. But
Well,
it's true
but
because I love the service so much that I become a fanboy for the service because I just want everybody to experience what I'm experiencing.
well, it's because there's probably I was looking at the library the other night
Yeah.
on Game Pass, and I don't know why, but this still pisses me off though that Fable 2 and 3 are not on Game Pass for PC. Why the
Yeah.
fuck not? Why?
Yeah.
God,
Did they make PC ports for those games?
that you can play it. There's a way I've seen people are playing it through GOG. They're getting it on Good Old Games, and then
Yeah.
they're activating it on Steam. They're getting a key and then activating it on Steam.
Okay. So you can actually buy Fable 2 and 3 on Steam then?
I Not on Steam, but
Oh, you can.
you can buy it. It's stupid. You can buy it on. No, okay. So I just looked it up. It just says Xbox One, Xbox 360.
So there you go. That's why there's no you can't get it on fucking Game Passes because they never made a PC port for it.
Yeah, but but that's what I mean though. But like, why? How hard would that be to do?
Oh.
Oh, and Fable 3 is for Microsoft Windows.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, Fable 3 was, but Fable 2 it didn't say it was. It
Yeah,
said
not Fable 2. I know Fable 1 was on PC for sure.
yeah,
And
Fable 1's on Steam.
yeah.
But like,
Um
to me, it'd be so easy to just port those.
yeah.
I don't get it. That just
But
bugs the shit out
I
of me.
guess that's where the idea of like if you have the console like an Xbox Series X or S, then maybe that's the strategy there. Is they're still trying to like strategically get people to possibly buy the console. You know what I mean? Like it's all business in the end.
Maybe, but it is weird though because it's like one game that's like really old now.
Yeah.
But
But have you seen all the old games that they threw on Game Pass? Like it's fucking crazy. They got like Banjo Kazooie on there. Like we're talking about N64 games.
dude, they just put N64 on the service for Nintendo. So
Oh wow.
okay, that's one thing. You want to talk about bullshit
Yeah.
here? I'm gonna what the hell do they call it? Online subscription. It's what are they called? Nintendo Online.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. Online plans and pricing. Because I just want to get this right. Because fucking gross. Okay, so yeah, the individual membership. I think you have a Switch, so you're probably familiar
I
with
do,
this.
yeah.
Canadian, it's $25 a year, right?
Yeah.
But then, what was it? It was probably 6 months ago now. It's been a while now, but they released the N64. Because remember, you got the Super Nintendo and the NES.
Yeah.
You got those with the Switch Online, right?
Yeah.
But with the Switch Online expansion pack, you get the N64 games now, and some old Sega Genesis games, and some DLC for Animal Crossing that nobody really gives a fuck about.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the price difference for some fucking Sega Genesis, like not even a lot of good ones. I'm telling you, and N64.
Mm-hmm.
It goes from $25 a year to $64 a year.
Jesus. That's a significant jump.
That's a $40 price increase
Yeah.
in a year just to play Nintendo 64 games.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's face it, the people that are buying this aren't buying it for the fucking Sega Genesis games
No, that's right.
and the Animal Crossing DLC. They sure aren't buying it for that.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
buying it for those.
Yeah. I
That's
agree
crazy.
100%. There becomes a point with the subscription-based services where it's just not worth it anymore. You know, it's just
Well, and it's not that bad. Like $64 in a year is not bad.
no.
But it's just the point that their normal price is $25 a year.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, their online's pretty shit.
Oh, it's terrible.
But like it's $25 a year. But then they know people want those N64 games, right? They know they want them so bad. And so they bump it up to $64 fucking dollars. Like that, I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
They tripled the price. They pretty well tripled the price just for N64 games, which people are literally going to play once and it'd be like, oh, this is shit. And then go on to something else.
Because let's be realistic here. Those games do not translate very well to modern times.
No, they're shit.
They run basically off of nostalgia. Although I do go back to play Zelda Ocarina of Time quite a bit, and that game still plays pretty fucking good.
Well, exactly. Certain adventure games are still good. I'll rattle off a few, which is Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, awesome. And when you port them to the Switch or to the 3DS, which is where I played them recently, they're awesome. Controls are awesome. They translate great. Same with Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, fucking awesome. And you can still play it pretty well on a 64. And the ports on Xbox as well as the Switch version, which is just coming out now, I'm sure they're solid. I'm sure that's solid. The Xbox version was solid, but you just need a joystick. It's an adventure game.
Yeah.
But you play any of those fucking first-person shooters that everybody sucks their dick. Everybody sucks their dick so hard every day.
Yeah.
And they're cancer.
I know. I tried playing fucking GoldenEye like this was probably 10 years ago. But even then, 10 years ago, I tried playing it, and I'm like, how the fuck did I play this game? Like, legit.
Okay. The first thing that happens, you load into the game, and what's the first thing you do? You press the joystick to move forward, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. That aims at the ground.
Yeah. And it's inverted. Your aiming is inverted, and you can't switch that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
somebody gets me. Because I actually went to try to play Duke Nukem 64.
Yeah.
Because the 64 version is actually different than any of the other versions. Not by much, but there are some differences. So I wanted to play it, and I literally couldn't play the first level. The controls were so bad. The first thing I tried to do is move forward, and I just aimed at the ground. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh yeah, it's C buttons. It's literally impossible to play. That's why anytime I see these fucking bullshit posts on Facebook or anywhere where it's like, I would rather take GoldenEye any day over these stupid Call of Duty games. It's like, fuck you, cocksucker. Go play GoldenEye. You'll fucking cringe internally.
Because they just think from nostalgia that those games were better. That's
Yeah,
all it. Yeah.
and I'm not holding that against people. They were fucking awesome at the time. I
Hmm.
have great memories of playing Perfect Dark and GoldenEye and
Yeah.
all those 64 games, but holy fuck, compared to new games, they're unplayable. They suck ass.
Yeah.
So
Indeed.
yeah. So yeah, whenever I see people saying shit like that, it just my balls shrivel up. That's how
Yeah.
hard I
You
cringe.
want to talk about a franchise that, started off strong and just nothing happened with it is GoldenEye. Like 007. You took one of
Which
the best shooters of all time, and then the franchise just died as a shooting game.
yeah, I guess so,
You
hey.
know what I mean?
But it wasn't, you know what? It wasn't really a series though. It was technically it was a movie tie-in game, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like it was based off a movie,
yeah,
but they could have kept doing movies. They did The World Is Not Enough,
yeah. They
which
did.
which was actually, again, it was another game that was really good for its time. I actually liked it
Is
more than
that the is
GoldenEye.
that is that the GameCube one? Because
No,
I had a
60,
game. Oh, okay, I had a GameCube 007 game that was fucking awesome.
yeah, it's called Everything or Nothing.
Yeah, and you got to like rip around with the car and stuff, and then that game was so sick for its time too.
Yeah,
And the multiplayer was
I
phenomenal. Like you could change so much stuff that you could like put zero, like change the gravity on the map, and like it was you had more options in that multiplayer than you do with some modern games.
Oh, I
Pretty
know. It,
crazy.
it it was sick, man. The This was the game. I just sent an image to the chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it for the chicken silver.
Oh, I haven't
That's it.
seen which chat did you send it to? Because it's not in the podcast
Oh,
chat.
I thought I did. Oh, what the
You
fuck?
fucking noob.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
It wouldn't let me send it with anything else.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, that was the game. I remember that game. You had to get kind of used to the controls at first because it
Yeah.
was a third person cover based shooter. But it was a weird one because you had a reticle where you were shooting, but then you had a red dot within the reticle,
Yeah.
which you controlled with the C stick. Do you remember that?
No, I never played that game.
You never played Everything or Nothing?
No, no.
I thought you said you playing the GameCube one.
Or maybe that's the one then. Okay.
That is the GameCube one.
Oh,
I
sorry. Did
I
you have a
I,
grapple hook in that game? Because that game had a grapple hook.
I think so. Was it a third person game though that you're
No, it's
playing?
first person.
Okay, you're probably thinking of Nightfire.
It was Nightfire. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, that is an awesome
Yes,
game.
that was the game I was talking about. That game is
I
fucking awesome.
Yeah. If you look up Nightfire, I had that on. It's ironic how we're like, yeah, they never continued GoldenEye, even though they made a bunch of Bond games after. But they
Yeah,
weren't
but I'm
based
talking about in modern times, though. You don't see a fucking
that's
007 game being.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last one they made was like they did make that kind of crap. They made that shitty remake of GoldenEye
Oh, yeah.
for the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
It was called GoldenEye Reloaded. Um, but it was not good
Oh, yeah.
because they lost the rights to the movie and everything. So they literally added like a random guy for Trevelyan, and they bond they the bond that they used was um Daniel Craig. I think they added
Oh,
to
yeah.
it.
I guess
The-
it's pretty tough to do like a 007 game when there's so much shit like that where you have to get rights to certain characters. Like, it's probably just not even worth it to even try to continue a
yeah,
franchise like that.
that's true. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Because I think on Xbox 360 as well, they made a Quantum of Solace game.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think that was the last one though. Ryan would know,
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
but that yeah, what yeah, it was there was Agent Under Fire, GoldenEye Reloaded, and then yeah, Quantum of Solace was the last one.
Oh, yeah.
But that Nightfire game though, man, that was a fucking sick game.
That game was lit. Like, holy fuck. Like
Dude,
I said, there's like grappling hooks. Like that game was ahead of its time for shooters. I'm sorry, but it was.
oh yeah. Do you remember, like, literally you had so many gadgets
Yeah.
with your watch and shit as 007?
Yep.
You had like I remember you had a shocker on your watch. You could electrocute people.
Yep.
There was the laser, I'm pretty sure. There was the sleeping darts. Like,
Yeah.
because that was another thing. You could essentially you could either go guns blazing, or you could just be a fucking like a stealth guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was they have it all here. They had the laser, and then the K5, which was the tranquilizer, the grapple hook, and the decryptor, which was how you got past the electronic locks. You would hack them. Oh, micro camera. There was a fucking automated turret you could put down.
Holy shit.
What? Oh yeah, yeah, the stun gun. Oh my god.
I know.
Yeah, and the night vision glasses and shit. Holy fuck. That game was so sweet, man.
It was so ahead of its time.
I think it's on.
I'm not sure.
Is that Game Pass?
Yeah, it's not
Wait.
Gamepass. No, I don't know. I don't think so. I always bugged my girlfriend because, but for some reason, she never actually looks game on Steam. I'm like, okay, let's subscribe to Game Pass, and like,
Oh my god. Come on.
I know.
Other woman.
Yeah, I tell you.
Fucking. I, I'm
Yeah.
yeah. I still have my old discs, but I don't have a disc drive. Is a problem.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I don't either. My last two computers haven't had one. Actually, three computers. I don't think I've had one.
Well, that one. Let's face it. That's going the way of the dodo.
Games can't even fucking play off of CDs anymore. They're too. They require like all a CD is a proof of purchase.
It's an NFT. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah. No, that's all they are. It's a proof of purchase. They don't. The new games can't even run off a disc anymore.
Oh, I know. It's silly.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think you're right about this whole acquisition, though. To get back to it, I think it's going to be a good thing.
Me too.
And I think what it's going to do is, all fanboys aside, I think it's going to hold Sony's feet to the fire.
Yep.
And it's going to force them to innovate.
Yep.
And well, they're going to have to innovate or die.
Exactly.
And there's some people that have been telling me about. I guess Sony, did they just release their new VR?
I think I don't think they released it, but it's just they've announced it.
Announced it. Okay. Do
Yeah,
you know anything about that?
I actually don't. I know that honestly, the PlayStation VR was pretty cool because I had one. It was neat. Remember, and I even brought it to your place, and you got to try out.
Yeah,
it was more of a.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it's the problem with the original PlayStation VR is it just the system just wasn't powerful enough. You know what I mean? Like it was more of a novelty item because the low resolution just took made you lose interest just because of the low resolution and all that. I have a fucking VR for my gaming PC that is high end. Now that is a different story because you get that wicked resolution and it just feels like you're way more immersed. But as far as this new PlayStation VR, I haven't heard much about it, but the PlayStation 5 is a really powerful system.
It should be an upgrade.
It should be a huge upgrade. But then, this is the problem that I have with VR systems for consoles is they're tied to that console.
Yeah.
And that's where that's just where VR doesn't work that great with consoles, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
because you spend all that crazy money for that expensive hardware, and then it's irrelevant when the next gen console comes out.
Yeah, exactly. And
So
you need to remind me that I had something to say about that. But I was just gonna say real quickly, the PSVR 2 will feature an OLED display.
yep.
So that's good. It's gonna be running at 2000 by 2040. Is that good?
Yeah,
Like
I think
I know
yeah.
you're a VR guy.
Yep.
So like, is that a good resolution for a VR headset?
I think that's kind of in your mid range for VR headsets for like quality and performance.
What's
That's
yours running at? Like
oh
which
god,
one?
my
Well,
Pimax AKX.
okay, yeah. Let's tell everybody what you got.
Okay, 1 second
'Cause-
here. I actually gotta pull up the information because so the native resolution of the Pimax AKX is 7680 times
Oh,
2160.
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I know I've asked you this before, but is that cut in half because it's
Yeah.
pulling double duty?
Yeah, so what it is it's 2560 by 1440 per eye. That's the resolution per eye.
2560. Okay.
2560 by 1440. So you actually get more resolution if you have if you have it per eye instead of looking at just one big screen.
Right.
Because if you were just looking at one screen at 2560 by 1440, it wouldn't look as good as having each eye. Because your brain automatically meshes them together. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
each screen.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Cuz that's the problem that people always have to, like, they have to understand with these headsets. Like whatever resolution it's capable of, it's technically got to be halved
Yeah.
because it's pulling double duty.
Hmm.
It's just like the old Virtual Boy from Nintendo. Do you remember that thing? It was like the first VR.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah, I never owned one. My parents were that rich, and also it
Yeah.
flopped. But it was it was a 32-bit console at
Yep.
the time, which was huge for a handheld. But the problem was, there was two eyepieces and two screens in there, so
Yep.
it's pulling double duty. So it's really
Yeah.
only a 16-bit, like, so the same as the Super Nintendo. You
Oh,
know,
okay. Yeah.
it was only a 16-bit console, but they
Yeah.
sold it. They sold it on 32, but it
Yeah. And
really is
see, like
16.
another thing with VR is you're essentially running two screens, so it's pulling twice the power from your computer.
Yeah, and that's well, and that's why, like, the resolution kind of gets cut down too, because it's you gotta like this new PlayStation, the 2000 by 2040. That's the whole screen,
Yeah, that's the whole screen. Yeah.
but there's you got to split that in half for each screen. So
Well, does it have two screens? Because the original PS VR only had one screen.
okay, I'm actually not sure.
Yeah,
So yours has two screens,
two screens. Yeah,
one for each eye, right?
one for each eye. Yeah, so it's so you like well a good like something that you could compare it to is you know how like some people like to play like racing sims where they use three computer screens.
Yeah.
Okay, so say if you had three 2K resolution computer screens, you would have to add all that resolution together, and then that's what your graphics card would be outputting. So it's pulling so much more resources off your graphics card because essentially you have to add all those screens resolutions, and that's what you're basically displaying is that total resolution. So VR is the same way. If you have a screen for each eye, you're pulling the added resolution of both screens together. So that's why they call it the Pimax AKX, is because it's running at 8K resolution in a sense because you're combining the two eyes resolutions together.
Okay.
Yeah. So does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. Because it's you actually have your eyes on separate screens, but in the VR world, yeah, it just looks like one big screen to
Yeah.
you.
Yes, because your brain magically meshes them together. Just how our brains work.
It's exactly how you don't really, when you're looking at things, you don't really see your nose.
Yeah,
You
and
can
you
see
don't
it's
see
there.
you don't see two different images when you're looking through both your eyes. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And if you look at certain things, if you close your left eye, then your right eye, then your left eye, they kind of shift.
Yep.
But yeah, that doesn't happen normally.
Hmm.
Your vision is very unique that way, and I think it's fucking awesome that they're able to, you know, get that into VR. Like VR,
I know.
that's gonna be the future. That's gonna be the big
Oh,
future of gaming.
it honestly is, man. Like, holy shit. Some of these games, like, the sad thing is, do you know what's going to kill VR is actually exclusivity, because
Okay,
VR is a extremely niche product, and exclusivity is like a big thing that's happening right now, especially with like the Oculus Quest and stuff like that. Like, and it's going to destroy VR before it even gets off the ground.
yes, and that's actually what I was gonna tell you to remind me I had something to say, because
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna bring up is we've been talking about exclusives all night, but that's one of the biggest problems right now with VR is that you already have such a niche product
Yeah.
that's very expensive, and people don't know what to buy because they're
Hmm.
like, well, can I play this game? I don't know.
Yep.
There's like 18 different fucking VR headsets.
Yep.
And then like the worst for exclusives is the
Yep.
Oculus Quest, and then oh, what's that other one?
I think HTC Vive does lots of exclusive
Yes,
shit too.
yes, yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah.
But it's like they're not even close to the most powerful ones.
No. No. You got the Steam's headset, which is the Valve Index. It's completely open source. Like you can, and same with the Steam games, like say that new Valve VR game, Half-Life Alex, that's open source. You can use any headset with that game. So that's why I respect those companies, because they're making their games open source. Whereas what I don't respect is like your Oculus, that is literally making an ecosystem that you have to have an Oculus to even play these games. So, like, I'm not too sure about the metaverse, but I'm pretty sure you can only get onto the metaverse unless you have the Facebook Oculus headset. So, like, what kind of metaverse is that if you exclusively have to use their headset? That's not open. That's not, you know what I mean? That's not like an open world. Like,
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
if it's supposed to be the future, like everybody's
Yeah,
going into this virtual world as the future, it should be any fucking anything, any
gotta be
VR
open
headset you
source.
got.
Yeah,
Yeah, it has to
yeah,
be.
yeah. For it to
Otherwise,
work.
otherwise it's just not gonna work because
No,
people honestly just they don't want to do that.
no.
And it goes back to the whole Game Pass argument, right? It's like I don't, that's one of the things people don't want to, I want all my games on Steam. I don't want
Yeah.
to go to Game Pass. That's what they want. They want everything in one place.
Yep.
And it's like,
Convenience.
and it's the easiest.
Yeah.
But
Like
it's
look,
like,
think about like Epic Games. Like I've fucking last two times I've like I actually own a couple games on Epic Games just because they had that, they were doing their exclusive, like where it would be on Epic Games for 6 months or whatever. So I bought it on Epic's. I haven't downloaded Epic Games in my last two times I've reinstalled Windows on my computer. Just because it's just like I don't want to open another thing. And I totally get that.
yeah,
It's just I want everything in one place. Just like everybody does.
yeah. And I think that's where it's going to go eventually.
Hmm.
I think, but I think there's one thing, there's something that's, like Epic Games doesn't make sense to me because it's just the same as Steam to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have their exclusives, they have their own games, whatever. But it's not. But something like Game Pass, for example, right now, it's different enough that I would get it
Yeah.
because I'm getting a bunch of shit for free.
Yeah. Well, it's not
Well,
for free,
not
but you know
free.
what I mean. We always say that it's
Like,
not for free, but
yeah.
you're getting a huge package for a
So,
subscription.
so here's my logic, and this is what's kind of selling me on it: is that if I play one AAA title, That's paid for 4 months of my Game Pass.
Exactly, and that's the easiest fucking. Okay, we're gonna get deep into this because some people are making the argument that Game Pass is bad for like game companies and game developers, but I fucking disagree on that 100%. Because do you know how many games I've tried that I would have never even thought about buying?
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? There is
Yeah,
so many games that I've tried and actually played that I would never even for a second considered buying because they might have a 30, 40, 50, $60 price tag. And I'm like, it's kind of a game that's not totally on your spectrum. It's like, no, I'm not going to buy that. But because it's on Game Pass, why not? I'll download it. I'll give it a shot. Why wouldn't
yeah.
I?
Well, isn't that how you played Hellblade?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
I would have never. I didn't even know what Hellblade was. I just heard it was a really good game, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll download it and give it a shot. Literally, it's probably in one of my top 10 favorite games right now, and I would have never even gave that game a chance. But because it was on Game Pass, I did. So you can't tell me that that's bad for gaming and gaming developers.
No, and either way, they do get paid.
They do.
They get paid to have their game.
Yeah, some people have this weird narrative that game companies aren't getting paid for their games on Game Pass. Like that's not true.
and from like I said, from a consumer standpoint, there's the whole Netflix argument where it's like, games come and go, but how many times, especially recently, now when it comes to retro games, yeah, they're highly replayable, and I replay them a lot.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to modern games, a lot of them, I play them once, I'm good.
Me too, especially single player titles. Like 99% of them, I'm not playing again.
So if I got my $80 game for, that's 4 months of my Game Pass.
Yeah.
And I play it once, I'm good. Whatever.
Yeah.
If it goes away forever, whatever.
But guess what? If it goes away forever, you can still buy that game. That's
exactly.
like nothing's stopping you from buying that game. And like people have this weird narrative that the game just doesn't exist anymore if it comes off a Game Pass. And I just laugh, It's just like, holy shit.
Plus I can get my Xbox gamer score up.
Yeah. Actually, that's okay. Actually, that's a really good point. I fucking love achievements in games. Like, achievements are fun. I fucking love them. And a lot of Game Pass games have achievements built into them.
Yeah,
normally they wouldn't have it on Steam or on PC.
Yeah, like Steam has achievements, but to me, the achievements on Steam don't give you that real dopamine rush as much.
No,
they're not worth anything. Like one thing that I think fucking Steam really shit the bed on was achievements. They should have had a gamer score. Even Sony. I didn't like the trophy system as much, but at least it made sense.
It was there. Yeah, it was there.
And it made sense, bronze was, your shit. Silver was, normal or hard to get. Gold was like a mastery thing. And then once you got platinum, that means you completed the game. Okay, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But that game, Xbox always made the most sense to me because they're worth, 10 points, 25 points, 50, 100, stuff
and it was
like that.
it was the most like user friendly too. Like it was just a really cool system.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I used to be the biggest achievement hunter in the world.
Me too. I literally have purchased games because I read up that their achievements were easiest to get. I don't do that anymore. That was just a weird phase I went through, like you said, achievement hunting. But
Viva, yeah. Well, every achievement hunter did that. It was like Viva Pinata, King Kong on the Xbox 360.
Yeah. There was that panda game, like that cartoon panda game. It was super easy to get 1,000 gamer scoring. Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of those,
mm-hmm.
And there's even some indie games that I remember on that were most indie games were only worth 200 gamer score at max, but or Xbox Arcade they were called at the time, but there were a few of them that were worth 1,000 and they were super easy.
The biggest problem that I had with achievements that I never did agree with, and I don't think it was good, is I don't think you should have multiplayer achievements.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Because eventually those achievements are not going to be possible to get because nobody's going to be on they might not even have servers for that game anymore. So you're literally telling me that there's a game where some of the achievements aren't even accessible. That's not right, in my opinion.
I know. Dude, there's so many games that I 100%ed all of the achievements,
Yeah.
and then at the end, I'm just waiting for one online achievement. I'm just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know what I mean? From like the OCD standpoint,
I know.
you have that one game that's sitting at like 985 or
Yeah.
965, and you're like, fuck. But it's literally impossible to get that online achievement.
Yep.
Like, actually, one of those games at the time was Fable. I remember Fable 3 at the time.
Yep.
I had like 1,000 out of 1,000 almost, but I was missing like one online achievement, and it was just fucking like impossible because I had shit internet at the time, so I couldn't like play anything online. And also, it was kind of at the point where like everybody was kind of over it already.
Yeah.
So finding somebody to play with was like almost impossible.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. Yeah, I don't like online achievements.
No.
And I found like a lot of those later games, they pretty much made all their achievements online, and I was like, that's
Yeah, they did.
horse shit.
Because to me,
Halo
that's
2.
just them. Yeah, they're just trying to push the online in a sense with the achievements, you know.
Yeah, well, 100%.
So
The
that's
fucking,
my only my grief with achievements.
well, I remember the brutal one. Gears of War 1. They
Yep.
had they had an achievement called I think it's called Insane or Insanity. I think it's called Insane. But it's like get 10,000 kills in multiplayer. And then Gears of War 2. Oh, seriously, I think that's what it's called. Because then yeah, Gears of War 2 had Seriously 2.0, which was get 100,000 kills anywhere. So it was better, so you could do it in a campaign or anywhere. But then Gears of War 3, again, they updated it. It was Seriously 3.0, and I think it was, I can't fucking remember. I think it was like 500,000 kills. Fucking
That's ridiculous.
Gears. Serious. I'm gonna look it up. Seriously. Oh my god. They're still continuing it. Apparently in Gears 5, there's a Seriously achievement. What the hell is it?
You know, and like I was telling you before, like this sells me on like Gamepass and like subscription based services. Is I go upstairs, I look at my fucking box of Xbox 360 games. You do some quick math, you average every game out to like $40 or $50, and it's $2,800 fucking dollars of games that I have in that box. Okay?
Yeah.
They're worth nothing. If I were to take that to like a hobby store or something, they would give me fucking $60 for that whole box. They're worth fucking nothing. So
Yeah.
I could like fucking whatever Game Pass is right now. Like it's fucking say it's $12 a month. We'll do some quick math here. I'm terrible at math, so I'm pulling out a calculator.
You're not gonna have
$2,800 divided by 12. So and then divided by what did I do here?
Don't forget to add tax.
Don't forget to add tax. Yeah, pretty much. Divided by 12. Sorry, I'm just doing some quick math here. I'm a little slow. So that's 19 years of Game Pass is what I have sitting up in that box right now. How is that a bad deal?
Oh, I see what you. Yeah.
Yeah. I divided by the price of Game Pass per month, and then figured out how many years I would get.
Oh yeah,
19 years. So how is that a bad deal?
Yeah. Oh no, that's good, and I know
and that gives me access to way more games that are in that box up there.
Yeah, and like I said, I think
hundreds of more games
with this new acquisition shit. You're gonna get exclusive shit at least in like the new Call of Duties and stuff.
Yeah,
like you know, the campaigns will be free, and I know a lot of people are probably saying big whoop. because most people don't play it anyway. But
Yeah.
who knows?
I,
Maybe in Warzone you'll get something exclusive.
I think that's how Microsoft is kind of going to bully Sony a little bit. They're not going to make it so it's like an Xbox exclusive, but they might have advantages over having it on the Xbox ecosystem. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And I
yeah,
think they could bully them a little bit with that for sure.
yeah. And I think they kind of fucking deserve it at this point, honestly.
Yeah. Like I really yeah, like Sony is not a bad company, but they got way too complacent. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
And
well, they did it.
I don't feel bad for the Sony fanboys. They deserved every fucking little bit of this shit that they're getting right now.
Yeah, and and like we said before, I think it kind of goes both ways all the time. Because
Hmm.
again, it's gonna happen again where it's like before. Remember, like I was saying, like how the PS4 was on top, right?
Hmm.
And then Xbox, and then PS4, and that's how I think that's just how it's gonna be for eternity.
No, for sure.
So I think that it's just gonna end up, maybe 5 years, fucking Sony's on the top of the world,
They could be.
and
And
then
if they
maybe
produce, and that's the thing about me is I am not a fanboy when it comes to like a brand. I'm in fact the opposite. I will always go with the company that has the best product. Like if they have a better technology or a better product or a better service, I will always go with them. I am I know I sound like I'm a fucking Xbox fanboy, but that's just because they have a better product out right now. And that's why I'm fanboying over them. I fucking fanboyed super hard for Sony during the PS4 era. Super
yeah,
hard because
yeah,
they had a way better system.
they did, yeah,
So that's how I roll.
yeah, no, 100%. And um, yeah, so there's a couple other things that I did
Yep.
want to bring up. Um, I'll start with the first one here because I wanted to bring it up with you.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting. But have you heard of this Artemis game? Apparently, it's been in development for a while now.
Artemis.
Yeah, Artemis. That's what it's called. You can Google it. Um, it's by the creator of PUBG,
Okay.
and it's this it's apparently an Earth. It's gonna be the size of Earth apparently. Open. It's gonna be an open world game, the
Hmm.
size of the Earth, and
Oh, are they going to use like Google Maps and like map out the world?
I I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. I think it's gonna be like a survival game,
Yeah.
but yeah, the guy that made it said it's gonna be like an Earth-sized virtual world, built using machine learning technology.
Hmm.
And
That sounds like almost like Microsoft Flight Simulator
it could be something like that.
because they use the same kind of technology. They mapped out the entire world using AI and machine learning technology, and then they were able to map out the entire world so you can fly all over the world, and it looks real life. It because the buildings are actually there, and the mountains and the bridges and everything. You know, the highways, the roads. It's all what you'd see in real life. So maybe
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
same idea.
The the creator, I don't know his fucking name. His last name's Green, but he quoted saying, "I love Rust." You know Rust.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, "I love Rust, but if you play on a busy server, there are bases every few meters. I want a
Yes,
space.
yeah.
I want a space where you don't discover a player's base for miles, or when you do, it's a big settlement a tiny
DayZ, I would say, is like that though.
rather than a tiny box." Yeah, you know what I think DayZ is, but I mean we've talked about DayZ. I mean,
Yeah.
w-
See,
if
yeah,
these
I know it
this
has its
this
own
might
problems.
but like this might be the next DayZ, right? This might be the guy that does what we're talking about, where it's an
Hmm.
open game with a big world where if it controls well, and who even knows what it is. I don't know if it sounds like it's going to be like a survival game or something like
Hmm.
Rust or maybe like DayZ with guns. I'm not sure what it's going to be like. There's not much on it, but
That's an
It's
interesting concept, but there's a big problem with open world games that you see now is where the world feels empty.
yes. I
And to me, that has ruined a lot of these open world games. Is they're just empty. Like, sorry, I don't want to fucking run through an empty field for 5 minutes to get to the
no.
other side and then find nothing or do nothing for another 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That's how I am too. I don't.
And yeah, and I think that was your biggest. You talked about Star Citizen, and that was actually one of your biggest griefs with that game. Is it fucking took you 30 minutes just to get out of the atmosphere of the
Yeah,
planet you're on?
yeah, and that's a big that's the big planets apparently,
Yeah,
and people are saying that go to a star base or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know that.
yeah,
But still, I don't care if it's a main planet or not. It should take me 30 fucking minutes of driving straight up just to get out of the goddamn atmosphere.
yeah. But you need to buy the faster plane.
Yeah, right. Well, technically, this is one of the fastest ones I had.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because it was, like the bigger, expensive ships are slower
Hmm.
because they got the big crewing ship. But like, I don't know, man. I don't like shit like that, and I don't like walking for miles through a boring world.
No, me neither.
I like there to be some shit going on
Yeah,
or stuff that's always changing,
I agree.
like Valheim.
Yes,
That's a fucking awesome open
it's a
world,
wicked awesome game. Yeah.
and because there's always something going on, and
Another cool thing that people don't give credit for that game is it's procedurally generated. So every time you play through that game, it's a different map.
yeah, legitimately.
Yeah.
I fired it up like the other night. We
Yeah.
definitely have to fire it up sometime
Yep.
and play. But I fired up a random one just to see what it looked like right now and what was going on. And
Yep.
yeah, literally I spawned in the meadow, walked around a little bit, did my shit, and then like there was literally an abandoned village right next to me. And
Cool.
then there was like a couple abandoned like I don't know, church. Like it looked like a church to me, but
Yeah.
like a steeple or something. I don't know. But I was like, fuck. I'm like, this is so fucking cool.
Hmm.
Because I remember the first time I played, it took a while to find any kind of village or set of life. But it's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Procedural generation is really smart, in my opinion, for a developer because it promotes replayability and it takes away development time of a game when the map just makes itself. In a sense,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to fucking place every little tree and little plant and rock. You
Yeah.
know, it just you get to find the proper algorithm and it does it for you.
Yeah. Like it's, it's like Minecraft, Minecraft was
Yeah,
like the first procedural generated game, I think, that I could think of anyway.
yeah,
And like, how revolutionary was that game?
totally.
Crazy. And
Yeah,
and it always kind of made sense, like there's algorithms and shit that work hard on there,
hmm,
and it's smartly programmed, like you won't find a flower in cement or something, in
yeah,
bedrock or something.
yeah,
You're not going to do that.
yeah,
It's smart enough to know under the ground it's going to be rock to a degree, some dirt, maybe valleys, but it's all smart AI, right?
yeah.
Like it's not just total random garbage mess.
I've thought about this a lot, like the true potential of random generation. And like I don't know if we'll see it in our lifetime, but I think it'll come to fruition eventually, where an entire game is randomly generated
Yeah.
to a certain extent. You know what I mean?
Like
Like say a role playing game, the quests are randomly generated, the NPCs are randomly generated, the cities are randomly generated.
yeah, that'd be
Like,
cool.
I could totally see that in the future with how
Even,
crazy AI is getting.
oh, it could be crazy. Like even like a game like Grand Theft Auto that's set in modern times, like a
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
Imagine just a random or
Yeah.
like total random generated city.
Yeah.
That'd be absolutely fucking nutty.
It
It'd be
would be.
crazy. But that's the future.
Hmm.
I hope it gets to there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna just close on this last thing because
Sure.
I know you got to take off here. So, um, I was just gonna close off on one last It's more of a comment, not really a discussion, but you know me. I'm a huge fan of Jordan Peterson.
Yep.
I love that guy. I think he's really smart and he's Canadian. How can I not love him?
Yep.
But and you know, even I'll admit, like since he came back from he was on hiatus for a while there because he got sick because he was trying to get off benzodiazepine, which is um I can't remember what he was taking it for, like anxiety, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's basically like getting off methamphetamines,
Oh
essentially.
wow.
Like
Yep.
like it's the one. It's like it's one of the few drugs in the world that you can't just quit cold turkey because you'll die. You
Yep.
have to. So he whatever. He went to Russia. It's a big story. He got off them, and now he's back and stuff. And but anyways, so Ethan Klein from H3H3. When Jordan was in his prime time when he was going crazy in like 2016 to
Yeah.
2018, Ethan had him on the podcast a couple times on their H3H3 podcast, which I used to be a big fan of. I actually used
Yeah.
to watch them a lot, but since then I've gone by the wayside because I just lost a lot of respect for Ethan.
Oh, Ethan is such a
Because
hypocrite.
yeah, he's a hypocrite, and he's just become such a fucking cuck.
I know.
And I
Yeah.
know the one reason I watched Ethan originally was because he was friends with JonTron, and I love JonTron.
Yep.
He's one of the only YouTubers today that could still make me laugh. No
Oh
matter
god.
what, he
Yeah.
puts something out, he's fucking hilarious. So I love John. And there's that whole part where John had some right-wing political views, and he got a lot of heat for it, which
Yep.
I don't think he should have, because I think that's bullshit that anybody gets heat for their opinion, but whatever. So he had some right wing views, and his fucking Ethan fucking like totally sold his buddy out.
Oh god.
And didn't like back. He didn't like talk shit about John, but he didn't like back him up or anything or say
Yeah.
like John's a good dude, you know.
Yeah.
But no, he just totally like didn't defend his friend. I'm like, you're a piece of shit. And
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, he's gone downhill. He's a hypocrite. And so recently, I saw on Twitter just this week or last week, I think it was now. But H3 Ethan fucking he removed the Jordan Peterson interviews from his
Yeah. I heard he did that.
yeah, he removed them from his podcast. And I have a screen cap here that I'd like to share. And yeah, so this was Ethan on Twitter. He said, "Years ago, I interviewed Jordan Peterson before I was very familiar with his politics."
Yeah. I
Oh,
read this too. Yeah.
bull fucking shit. First of all,
Yeah.
he was an interesting guest who I enjoyed sitting with, but especially now I could see he's a dangerous gateway to alt-right transphobia and COVID misinfo. I removed both interviews today. Like,
Jesus.
holy fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just gotta take a sip of water here. And it's like, that's cringe as fuck. And then,
Mhm.
but that's because he was riding high, right? He was just trying to get a famous person on his podcast. That's all he was
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
But now that Jordan's getting the fucking heat for,
He's saving face.
yeah, exactly. But it's not even because of anything bad. It's because Jordan is backing up Joe Rogan on the fucking vaccine horse shit, which is a whole nother rabbit hole, but
Oh god.
whatever. But yeah, Jordan responded to his tweet saying, "What are you up to, Ethan? We had a good conversation. I enjoyed meeting you and talking with you. What have I said precisely that motivated your actions and your accusations? Deleting our discussion. An honest question." And what else did he said finally, and they tagged Ethan, "You might seriously consider providing me with the footage so I could post it. Given that I agreed to appear on your show based on the agreement that there would be, in fact, a show. Also, I would warn you that those who engage in cancel culture generally live to regret it. I'm not going to come after you, except politely, in this Twitter stream. But the chickens will definitely come home to roost. You will be held to a higher standard. to a higher and soon impossible to maintain ethical standards by the very mob you currently wish to please.
Yep.
Then you will make a mistake, and they will devour you with glee. Please take this warning seriously. I liked you.
Yep. He made a good point there, actually. I really like the speculation on these people that you're trying to...
Yes.
Have you heard about the Ninja and Pokemon drama?
I did hear about it, but you tell me because I don't know it all. I know she said something about his wife or something.
It's just the drama is so fucking stupid, but it's just it kind of falls into that same category where everyone's trying to cancel Ninja right now.
Why?
It's something I don't even want to get into it because it's just another this is another podcast topic, but once I get more information. But yeah, people are trying to cancel Ninja right now. But it ties directly into what you just said. Whereas if you try to play with the mob, eventually the mob will consume you. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I heard the Pokemon was talking shit about him or something.
Yeah.
On stream and
yeah.
And yeah, every third person on Reels is like, Pokemon just made $2 million and she ain't a ninja.
Yeah. Oh god.
But yeah, so I don't know. But I think we'll get into that another week. But
yeah,
I think what Jordan said is very smart because he's a very smart guy. But I think it's exactly right, and it's what I've been saying since the beginning of this shit back in 2016 when the wokeness got out of control. I said, and I mentioned The Last of Us 2. Anytime, this is the age-old thing: go woke, go broke. That's exactly how it goes because you can never be woke enough. The mob, you can please the mob for as long as you want, but eventually you're gonna fuck up.
Yeah, you're gonna slip up.
Eventually, you're not gonna be woke enough, and they're just gonna come for you.
Yeah.
So you're better off to just not agree with them, because this particular mob, they're not as powerful as you think they are. Everybody thinks they're this god fucking complex. They're this crazy fucking, they think they're Madara Uchiha or something. But no, they're fucking nothing. They're a bunch of fucking losers online that have nothing better to do than to go after people. And
yeah, power in numbers.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not joking. One time it's gonna come for Ethan. He's gonna get his one day. The more he appeases these fucking people, I'm surprised people haven't already done it.
Honestly. I was thinking about that as you said that. Like he's probably on the tippy. He's probably on the fucking teeter-totter right now with that shit.
Well, did you watch his podcast ever?
No.
Like some of his old episodes, he had some fucking dicey
I think
shit
podcasts are stupid, so I don't watch them.
Yeah, I agree. Especially this one. Not rich, just bored. Like, what are you, a fucking loser?
Yeah. Like you said, it's to get the chicks.
Well, there's that.
And Ryan's not getting any chicks right now.
No. It's because he didn't show up.
Yeah.
You don't show up, you don't get paid.
Yeah. But with that though, I honestly gotta get going here. But I'll say one thing though. Everything that we talked about is pretty crazy, but it's almost as crazy as Xbox Gamepass having access to hundreds of games and day one releases for only $9.99 a month. And if you're new, you can even get 3 months right now for only $1. Just so you guys know.
Oh my god. Fuck. Oh Jesus. I fucking knew you were going to do something like that. Yeah. Also, buy Crystal Skull vodka. All right. Well, I guess we're sponsored by Xbox now, guys.
Yep. Phil Spencer.
Right. But yeah, thanks, Justin, for coming and filling in for Ryan, who apparently just doesn't love the show anymore.
Yep. Traitor.
And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.